Hello and welcome to Yuen Method Talk Radio. We're broadcasting live from West Hills, California. In a moment, you will experience unique insights and one-of-a-kind perspective from Shaolin Grandmaster Dr. Yuen. Dr. Yuen, DC, has worked with patients for over 30 years and has been the world's foremost expert and leading grandmaster of Shaolin Kung Fu for nearly half a century. He's a well-known author and martial artist, frequently appearing on the covers of different martial arts magazines. He was also the technical and Kung Fu advisor on the original Kung Fu TV series, and thus was instrumental in bringing authentic Kung Fu to the international audience. To talk to Dr. Yuen, please call in now or visit our website. The guest call-in number is 646-478-3782. You can ask us a question anytime on our website. You will also find out about our exciting upcoming live events on our website. To ask Dr. Yuen a question, please visit yuenmethod.com/ask. That's yuenmethod.com/ASK. Now, here he is, live on the air, Dr. Yuen.
Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Yuen.
And Marnie Greenberg. Hello, hello. I'm co-leader of the Yuen Method and co-author of Delete on the Spot, Stress and Pain, our latest book that hit #1 international bestseller. And we are so happy you are here. I'm looking at the chat right now. Hello to everyone. Let us know. Say hello to us in the chat. This is live. So this is a place to be to delete your pain and stress. Yes, we do take live callers. So for those of you who want to call in, give us a call. And the problems that will be addressed tonight will be absolutely any kind of pain or stress, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, psychological, psychic, or spiritual. This call will resolve everything on the spot. For those of you who are new to the Yuen Method or haven't watched a free stream, thank you for joining. We welcome you. You can always go to our website, yuenmethod.com, and check out our last streams that are on our blog. Just click on blog and you can watch some past streams. And also for those of you who are new, I want to remind you that as live callers are calling us and Dr. Yuen and I are deleting your pain and stress, everyone on this live stream right here, and I see a lot of your names in here, will benefit also. Because if you resonate with someone else's pain, you will receive the same deletion as well. So get a feeling of what you feel like right now in your physical body. Take a little inventory on yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And by the end, we'd like you to tell us if you felt the same or different during this stream, because chances are you will. So again, thank you so much for all the amazing success stories that you've been emailing us and all the amazing stories that we've been getting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The last stream was wonderful. If you haven't watched it, like I said, go back and watch it on our blog. But anyways, moving on with today's stream, you are going to feel all the benefits of your life hexagon coming together. And we're going to explain that and more about the Yuen Method as we go forward. But right now, we're just going to start off with a live caller and show you what's possible on the spot. Okay, we're going to take a live caller. Okay, so while we're pulling up the first caller, we'd also like to let you know that on the screen here is some links. So if you want any information at all while this is going on, you can go ahead and click on those links and it'll give you more information about the Yuen Method on courses and clinics. And by the way, if you have any questions at all, feel free to send us an email at contactus@yuenmethod.com. Okay, so do you have a caller?
All right, 718.
718. 718, you're on live. How are you?
Good.
Hi.
Excited to be on.
Okay, that's great.
I am hoping to work on both a physical issue, trying to clear an ongoing kind of tightness. It moves all of my body, but it seems to really be looped through my right jaw.
Okay,
and,
so do you feel
I've been doing various healing methods, but it seems like no matter what I do, like it'll move around the body, and like right now my hands are very tight, my feet are tight, and through the right side of my neck, my head feels like kind of like it keeps moving through the meridians and kind of creating more tangles, if that makes any sense.
Okay, I got it. So you have pain in your hands, throughout your body. You started saying your right jaw was in pain. So let's delete the physical pain right now that you feel in your body. But you physically feel it in your body right now, so that you know after I do a deletion, you'll feel the change, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do a few deletions. Dr. Yuen will do a few deletions, and then we'll ask you how you feel. So what I feel, just to begin with, I feel the energy in your home is weak, so I'm going to strengthen you to that. And I also feel some external energy that has to do with your work. So what are you doing right now for work?
I'm an artist.
Okay, is there anything bothering you there with your art?
I think there's some subliminal concerns about, like, I'm renegotiating my lease right now.
Okay.
Have a lot of things on the horizon, so there's some financial concerns there.
Okay, so I do feel there's some blocks there.
There's something related to my father. My father's giving me backing for the studio, and I have some issues around that.
Okay, so when you think about that, that bothers you, right? So I'm going to strengthen you so that when you think about that, it no longer bothers you. And when I think about your finances, I do feel a weakness there. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to strengthen your finances. And it does connect with your father, but there's a lot of negative programming that you have from just in childhood in general about finances. So how would you feel now that I'm going to strengthen you to that so that you no longer have any negative programming with your finances, any negative programming with your parents that came from your childhood? And more importantly, when you think about your future and selling your art, I'm strengthening you so that you are strongly connected to people actually purchasing your art. And there's a weakness there.
That's great. That's exactly, like, it's starting to be on the horizon, and I think you really nailed it, because I feel like my guess was that sometimes stuff on the past is subliminal.
Okay, so you said I nailed it. So, but I feel that really is strong now for you, and you connecting with customers to purchase your art. Like, you didn't feel worthy that your art was good enough. But I know you feel probably consciously that you're probably a beautiful artist and have beautiful artwork, but yet subconsciously there's a little bit of that deserving energy there and that confidence. So I strengthen you. You feel that? So I'm going to strengthen you for confidence. I'm going to strengthen you to connect with those clients and to feel deserving and worthy to sell your art. And okay, so I worked on your finances, and I worked on the energy in your office area, your home. And with just doing that, how does your physical pain feel in your hands and your jaw? Do you feel any changes?
I feel as if there's a flow that's sort of starting to move through. If that makes sense, I feel a little heat coming on. There's still some kind of tightness there, but I feel a shift happening.
Okay, so you're feeling some improvement. So let me continue. So when you feel tightness, is that in your jaw?
Yes, my jaw. Actually, I do feel heat coming through, and it feels like there's sort of these, it feels like the whole body has been, like, kind of having to readjust,
Okay, so I'm going to stop you in your tracks, and I'm going to speed it up. Sound good? I'm going to speed up your central nervous system. I'm going to speed up your spinal cord to your brain, your right brain, your left brain, and I'm going to increase all the energy in all your organs, and I'm strengthening your exit portal. So your energy that's stagnant goes down and out the bottom of your feet. So I'm re-energizing you, all your cells, your molecules, and your atoms. How do you feel now, just by re-energizing your?
It's nice. It's feeling like there's a heat coming through. Really starting to kind of around the edges of things. It feels like I feel some heat. It feels like it's trying to realign. And the only places I feel a little like resistance, I would say, would be kind of in parts of my hands and around my, like, the ear, jaw on top of the head. It's like kind of trying to, but it's moving.
Okay, so all right, so let's just strengthen that. And like I said, your perception is weak. So I'm strengthening your perception, and I'm strengthening your brain. And just by doing that, do you feel that do you still feel that? Same or different?
Yeah, I feel it moving a lot faster now.
Okay. And so your hands, your feet, your jaw.
One last.
Sure.
Around, I think I have something consistent going on for a long time. So I feel it speeding up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that comes up about, like, I don't know, about my sleeping and walking and constantly experiencing this. Like, I feel like I have to let go of any residual fear or whatever, or hanging on that it's going to keep going on, something like that. I don't know. Something.
Okay, so that bothers you when you think about it. So what I'm tuning into, and I feel when you sleep, your negative spiritual experiences are weakening you. So did you follow? When you sleep, you get in touch with your spiritual realm. And if you have weaknesses in your spirit, then those seem to come up for you. So what I'm doing is when you sleep, I'm strengthening you and deleting those negative spiritual experiences. And so now tonight you'll sleep with ease. When you think about it now, do you feel the same or different?
I feel lightness coming in, yeah.
Lightness.
Better.
Okay. So why don't you share with our audience, our listeners right now? I mean, are you new to the Yuen method?
I've just started. I've been looking you up online and listening to some of your past webinars.
Okay, so you're relatively new. I want you to share with our audience, because you're relatively new, for others who are new to the Yuen method, like what are your ahas right now? I mean, you were probably skeptical before coming on, and now that you've experienced it, what would you say?
I feel like it's really nice, it's really immediate, and it feels like it's really going to sort of some root things, but in a very, feels almost like a very fast, I don't know, kind of a speed of light kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the speed of light. That's a good description. Okay. Well, okay. So thank you so much for sharing that. It's important for others, also who are feeling physical pain in their bodies. So I'm going to tell our listeners, take an inventory again, how you feel right now. Let me know in the chat, if you're feeling the same or different, and if you also benefited from her coming on and sharing.
Is there anything we can do, like when we're off, to reinforce this?
Well, actually, that's a really good question. Is there anything the listeners can do to reinforce what's happening? And actually, we're doing it for you. That's why I tell everybody to come. We have these every month. Come. And Dr. Do you want to answer that? I mean, we're actually downloading and directing you specific energy. So there's nothing you really have to do, right?
Well, you still have to process inside yourself. So, there's no working. No effort, but you have to be open to yourself, right? So not so much open to this approach, this method, but be open to yourself and explore what's within yourself and just let it happen.
So you have to be open and let it happen, and we're also strengthening you to be open and let it happen, and really to stop thinking so much. Dr. Yuen always says, stop thinking and feel.
You just, don't use your mind to think so much. Just train your brain so you be thinking from your brain and not your mind. And the brain and mind is pretty much confused by experts. They be talking about the mind and they go into the brain, and they talk about the brain and go into the mind. So, but you have to make a distinction between the two to achieve the result, acquire the result that you want to achieve.
Okay. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for coming on, and continue. Let us know at the end of the stream, you'll continue to improve, like Dr. Yuen said. So thank you so much, and stay connected with us.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Will do.
All right. So we're going to talk a little bit more what a deletion is. So I'm going to pull up the deletion octagon, which consists of 8 components, and just a little bit of a review of what a deletion is. It's eliminate, free, independent, release, protect, forgive, forget unconditionally. And that's exactly what I just did. When I say I'm deleting your pain and stress, I'm doing it really quickly with the deletion octagon. And as well as I'm doing it from the macro to the micro body, which means in your structure, down to your cells, molecules, and atoms, tissues, to the quantum particles. So literally, when we do a deletion, Dr. Yuen, do you have anything to add from the micro to from the macro to the micro body? And when we do this deletion, we're really deleting it out of every cell, molecule, and atom of your body.
Well, you want to ensure that you're doing that. So to ensure you're doing that, you just have to find the weakness in those levels And just by changing that weakness to strength, and the change will just take place on its own.
So we're finding your weaknesses, and everybody has a different set of weaknesses. There's no cookbook recipe. You know, the Yuen method is a way of life. It's a sequential processing of finding your weakness and strengthening your weakness. And Dr. Yuen and I are doing this through insight, our feeling, our perception, our intuition, and we're using our insight to tune into you to find where those weaknesses are. And when we find your weakness, we delete it. Just like that on the spot.
Well, it's really for everyone to do the same thing, because it's time for us to make those changes that people or humans know what to do for themselves, their family members. They can answer their own question and resolve their own problems, and not just
depend on experts.
Depends on people give them answers that didn't change anything, and if it didn't change anything, those are not the right answers. And actually make the condition worse when you have the wrong answer.
The wrong answer makes you worse. And that's so true. I mean, think about it. Every time you go and you talk to an expert, it could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be a doctor, it could be a therapist, it could be an expert in some field that claims they know, something, and they give you advice. It's happened to you. And if that advice works for you, that's great. But chances are you get worse. I know myself, when I got sick, and you can read my story in the book, literally every doctor I went to, I got worse and worse and worse. And when Dr. Yuen just reset my mind, body, spirit, it took literally less than a second. And so it's really
just a few seconds.
A few seconds. So it's when you find the right answer, your pain goes away, and that's what you see. So we're going to do some more examples. This is a live demonstration, just so you can see what's possible in a short amount of time. Okay, we'll take another caller.
All right. This is 323.
323, you are on live.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. I've been struggling with adrenal and low blood sugar and thyroid issues.
Okay, so, and do you feel any physical pain in your body?
At the moment, no. When my blood sugar gets low, it's just pretty bad. Especially in my chest.
Okay, so Dr. Yuen's going to tune in and do some deletions.
There's some sensation in the chest. The weakness, you can actually detect it's coming from the abdominal region. So you have to strengthen the abdominal region. And the abdominal region is actually the weakest regions of the physical body for him. So we would just make things more even with each other. So it just spread the sensation or the symptom throughout the body, and spread it to the cells and the molecules and atoms, and there's no reason. The adrenal is really misdiagnosed, even though it could be supported by blood tests and other tests that they use, but adrenals is not doesn't seem to have any weakness in function. Okay, now compared with before, now what's that seem like to you? The chest region, what does that seem like now?
Did you say in the chest region?
Yeah.
Do you feel the same or different in your chest region?
The chest, my chest feels, it still feels tight. It's a little bit less.
Okay, so you have some changes there. Now the tightness, even though you say tightness, it does not register in your, in your central nervous system. So the tightness is actually, come from the actually relaxing excessively. So the human tendency is that when you have a problem, they try to relax it, and then we misinterpret that relaxation or the effort to maintain that structure that seems to be tightness, but it's actually excess relaxation. So essentially, you're relaxing like 1,000 times more than you normally should be relaxing. So once we find our weakness, then we just strengthen that and change that and delete the reason behind it. Now, how's the tightness in your chest?
Well, it's starting to go away. I'm feeling energy moving out of my body.
Well, that's great.
And
Yeah. I started to feel a little bit of that actual tightness go up into the throat, but I do feel the energy moving. It feels good.
So you can improve that more by tightening up your abdominal region, actually. That make your chest tighter because your abdominal region is actually relaxing more than it ought to be. So if you consciously tighten it, then of course we could also make you strong in contracting or tighten up that region and tensing and untensing rhythm that kind of you kind of lost that rhythm. So we want to restore that rhythm of tensing and untensing in the abdominal region. Now, how's your upper torso or chest seem like to you now?
It still feels like it's lightening up more, getting kind of airy feeling. More of the tension and energy is moving away.
Okay, that's great.
So it feels nice.
So keep on tensing your torso now, and now and then you tense your abdominal region because that's still have a tendency to be weaker than your chest region, even though you feel it in your chest.
So, Dr. Yuen, it's pinned.
Would that help?
Was that?
What I was saying is Dr. Yuen's identifying your real reasons and causes and sources, and a lot of times it's not. Let me repeat, it's not where you physically feel it. And so
all the time.
All the time. And so that's what's like a live demonstration of that. And you say that what would you like to share with our audience? You're new to the Yuen method, right?
Right.
And so were you skeptical before coming on here?
Everyone ought to be skeptical. I want people to be skeptical, not believers.
Dr. Right. So
I was optimistic on one hand, but there's another part of me that was kind of doubting. I hope it works.
Okay, so interesting. So, what do you have to say to the people that are listening that are doubting the Yuen method after experiencing that?
Well, they doubt this method is like doubting themselves, So. Self-doubt, right?
It's just that it works just like that first caller. It works so fast.
It works fast.
It's so cool because I know all these methods and they're either not working or they take forever.
They're not working. Wait, so when you say other methods, so are you a practitioner?
No.
You're not a healthcare practitioner, but you've taken a lot of other healing modalities.
No, I just learned a lot of things.
You've learned a lot
of things looking for solutions.
Okay, so I'm sure there's other people out there that are looking for solutions. I know I was one of them at one point in my life. And it sounds like you've been there and done a lot of other modalities of healing, and they haven't worked for you. Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
That's right. I can feel bruises and stuff with my hands like it's nothing, bruises and cuts. But the more serious stuff, I'm not getting any results with.
Wow, that's interesting. And
so healing itself, it means slow already. So you want to get away from healing.
Dr. Yuen says we don't need to heal. Like deletion is a switch. It's hardwired to our internal computer. Us humans are high tech. We're no different than a computer. We all have the deletion key. And when you press that deletion key, it's instant. It's not something you have to wait a week for or hours for.
You're talking about speed. So
speed. Let's talk about speed.
But you still, you still want to be strong to speed and speed strong to you. So you want to be strong, let's say, the speed of the planet, that planet Earth, and you also want planet Earth to be strong, planet Earth to be strong with you. So that would make you faster. Then you actually.
And what happens when they're faster? When you're at the speed of the universe and you're congruent with that, what happens, Dr. Yuen?
Well, you're in sync with the universe because everything in the universe is very fast. It's not floating around. Even a dead planet may seem like it's floating around, but it's speed in the evolving around that the sun and that region. So it's still not slow, right? Planet Earth seems like it's moving very slow, but it's 1,000 times faster than we could drive.
Mm-hmm. We're fast, and the Yuen method is fast because Dr. Yuen is speeding you up to the speed of
Well, it should be natural to be fast, right?
Nobody likes slowness. I mean,
no, they do. There's many articles written about it's time to slow down, which is ridiculous. You slow down, you already age faster.
Have you heard that? I mean, there are articles you read online.
Many articles.
Even slow down, take deep breaths, and meditate. That's
Costco
slow.
magazine, a few issues ago, they talk about learn to slow down, right? Like you couldn't learn. I mean, that you couldn't slow down, and most people know how to slow down because everybody else is slowing down, right? So accepting it. Anyway.
So you want to do just the opposite. You want to speed up, delete your pain and stress on the spot. So I'm so glad you shared with our audience. Thank you so much. It seems like you've done a lot of healing.
Yeah, thank you for calling. And no more healing, okay? So just work with your computer and make it work for you.
Well, so you got results in just a few minutes. Imagine what's possible in 25 minutes, or just being part of this every month. Does that sound good to you?
Well, you constantly should be improving, right? If you don't improve, you just go in the opposite direction.
Okay. So join our free streams monthly and continue to improve, because every free stream you come to, you'll start to feel better.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Okay, so we're going to continue with this live examples, but before we continue, we're going to do a general group deletion on everybody that's listening. So what we'd like you to do is place your attention on your midline, your central cord. For some of you, you may want to think about your spinal cord. That's your midline. And I'd like you to repeat to yourself, mindless, spiritless, empty. And you can say that a couple times to yourself out loud, mindless, spiritless, empty. And then run your thought up and down your spinal cord really fast. It's like a quick frequency. And Dr. Yuen and I are directing you strength, so that what that does is make you neutral. It makes you mindless and spiritless. It deletes your mind out of your physical body, and we're turning on your brain receiver. Because people get the mind and the brain mixed up all the time. And with the Yuen method, you want to delete the mind, because your problems and the mind will sabotage you all the time. So we delete your mind and we get you neutral. And then you accept these deletions better throughout the rest of the stream. So with that said, we're going to strengthen your central nervous system. We're going to strengthen your neck and your back and your body. We're going to let's start with your feet, your legs, your hips, your stomach, your torso, your chest, your neck, your head. We're loosening up all your cells, from the structure, your systems, your organs, your tissues, your cells, molecules, atoms, to the quantum particles, where energies matters energy. We just directed you that. It's more of a download. This is an experience. So with that said, we want to hear some feedback if you're feeling the same or different. So go ahead. If you're on the chat, I've got my computer here. Let us know how you're feeling, the same or different. If you do that right now, then we can do some more deletions for you, and you can just let us know where you're at. So Yara says she's feeling better. Joanna said, I'm doing this every day. That's great. So if you have any aha moments during this, like our team said, let us know in the chat so we can feel where you're at. Okay, we'll take another live caller.
All right, 781.
781, you're on live.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you able to hear me?
I am. How are you?
Hello.
Are you experiencing any pain or stress?
I'm not sure what it is that bothers me. I'm not new to the method. I've had some improvement in the past,
Okay.
but I've also seen other things happen, and I don't know how to articulate how.
That's okay. You feel something's not right in how you're feeling, and that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you know what that feels like. We're going to tell you what it is.
Yes.
So the first weakness I feel is really coming from the people that surround you, and I'm going to strengthen that. And the unsure energy is really the opposite. It's actually when you were confident and you were really sure about yourself, there was like a traumatic experience that happened to you. So there's like this fear of being really sure about yourself. So I'm deleting that so that you feel confident and that you feel more clarity also in your life, because I feel that there's like a kind of a stagnant energy around you that you don't really feel
Definitely.
clear.
I live in the government building. I lived for too many years in the government building I'm in that I've so been wishing I could live elsewhere, but this is all I could afford.
Okay, and you know what?
Very sad. I can't help them.
You know, and that's okay, because part of the Yuen method is you want to be strong to your environment. If you live there, that's fine. You're strong to it. So the energy around you may not be good. I mean, let's face it, everywhere you go in life, different places you go, it's not always going to feel good, but you have to be strong to it. You follow? So I'm strengthening you to the energy so that it has zero effect on you. So now when you think about it, how does it make you feel? Like where you live? Do you feel stronger to that? Do you feel the same or different?
There's something that feels like a buzz.
A buzz.
Like a buzzing in my, like
the energy.
Something's different. I don't know what it is.
Okay, but the energy's moving and you feel better when you think about it?
Something's moving. Like it's moving through my legs or something.
Okay, so I'm going to strengthen every cell, molecule, and atom of your body. And more importantly, I'm going to strengthen your insight, your feeling, your perception, your intuition, and your insight, so that you can connect strongly and have clarity between what is strong and weak for you. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, thank you.
So I'm strengthening you for that insight. I'm strengthening you so that there's just a calmness within you, and you're more, calm from within. Does that feel better to you?
I am. It does. Yes, thank you.
Okay, but more importantly, when you first called, you said that you were unsure. Is there a sense that you feel more confidence? Do you feel a shift there?
Usually I tend to feel it the next day. There's a shift. I'm usually feeling more neutral, which is the goal for most of us, I keep hearing.
That's right. That's great. Neutral, not positive or negative, but you're neutral. Yeah. That's good. That's where you want to be. So that's great. So is there anything you'd like to share with our listeners, how that felt for you or what this experience was like?
Yes, I've had issues get cleared up in the past, or improved, rather, I should say. But I've also had unusual things happen that weren't good, and I know that this has to be like a lifetime goal to keep at it, so that these things can clear up.
You got it.
That kind, and that's where I feel held back from that.
Well, let's speed you up to the speed of the universe, like Dr. Yuen was saying before. Speed up your brain receiver and speed up so that you're at the speed of the universe. And speed up your cells, your molecules, and your atoms. So just by doing that and shifting your speed internally, how does that feel?
Again, back to that neutral, which is good. Great.
That's good. So right now you want to, there's people that tell me, I had a client and what she loved about this method was that when her insight was strong, she didn't have to tell people, well, let me go meditate and I'll get back to you tomorrow. It's like, right then and there on the spot. And I mean, that's a great skill to have, to be able to just right there on the spot, be able to, know what's right and what's wrong. So do you feel that way now? Like you have that insight right now?
Yeah, I feel like there's more hopefulness.
Okay, well.
More issues.
Okay, well, we'll strengthen you, because when you feel hopeful, then there's hopelessness. So let's make you neutral to both.
That's right. I forgot.
So do you feel more neutral with that?
I still feel the same, which I think is good, though. I don't know that it's the bad thing, right?
Okay.
I mean,
okay, but you feel different. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
You feel improvement.
Something is different. Something's different, but I just can't place my finger on it, perhaps.
Okay, but right now when I specifically tune into you, I'm going to push the envelope a little bit more, because the more specific you are, the better the deletion.
I keep feeling something, my legs want to move, like the top of my legs are buzzing or something. They feel like, I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, but that's okay. You feel that the energy is moving, and that's where the direction you want to go.
Yeah,
okay, well, I'm also, as you're talking, I feel that I'm deleting your family influences, because that's where the unsure energy comes from, is your family, and more importantly, your siblings. So those are just old negative patterns from the past. So I deleted the family influences. How do you feel now?
That feels good.
Okay.
That feels
great.
So you're influenced by your family, right? So you always have to involve your family with your improvement.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big one for everybody. So we'll strengthen that for everybody that's listening. Just delete your family influences. Huge. Big changes will happen when you do that.
Thank you both. Thank you very much.
Thanks for
sharing.
Thanks
for calling.
Thank you for calling. Okay. All right, well, I hope you're enjoying this. Well, not hope, because then you get hopeless, but I hope you're neutrally enjoying this. Right? Dr. Yuen, do you have anything you'd like to share with our listeners? Anything you feel that could be weak?
They really don't have that much weaknesses, so they're integrating with each other and supporting each other synergistically. So when people come together with the, not so much like mind, but like far as physical intelligence, using more of our brain, so we can resonate with ourselves, our physical body, our physical surroundings, the whole world, the outer universe. So it's all coming from the physical intelligence, not like having mind communication. You want to actually delete the mind from your body, from your brain particularly, and just strengthen your brain physical intelligence, and everything would actually be so much easier in the way we function, throughout the days of our lives.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do some more live activation. We'll take another caller.
Okay, 703.
703, you're on live.
Hi, I'm calling because when I think about the future, whether it's health or finances or learning your method, any of that, like it's just nothing. I don't feel good about any of that. I don't feel like I can do any of that. Just health improving or finances.
Okay, so your finances. So let's take a look at that. When you say finances and you want to improve your finances, what is it that you do for a living?
Right now I'm out of work,
What were you doing before?
Working on computers.
Okay, and so I feel a weakness there. You said working on computers, and so there's some weakness there. But I mean, computers are really where it's at. I mean, would you like, moving forward in the future, if you pictured, what is it that you love to do? I mean, if you I want you to think about your future right now and imagine just for a moment what it is you would like to manifest. Do you have that in mind?
Imagine a world where anything possible. So I like helping people. That's really one thing that I like to do.
You like to help people.
So whatever it be, right? I like helping people on some kind of way.
Okay, so you'd like to help people. So let's process that for you. You're not working right now, but let's look into your future, and Dr. Yuen's going to process some of that for you. So Dr. Yuen, what do you feel in her future?
Well, she have to start with the back to the basics, physical and non-physical. So where she's at is really non-physical is the leading weakness. And these are spiritual experiences she's processing. So she have to delete all these spiritual experiences and not experiencing them, because a lot of spiritual people into spirituality, they go into their spirit and they experience all these spiritual weakening effect, and only way to cope with it is pretty much shut themselves down and numb themselves to the situation or relax themselves to the situation. So it's difficult for them to have action in their life. So let's delete all the effect of the negative spiritual experiences and karmas and curses from the ancestors. So once we do that, then you can actually the next weakness would be indicated from the body, and you want to activate everything in the body, from the quantum particle, from the energy in the quantum particle space, all the way up to the overall structure. So that's done, and take away the misinterpretation that seemed like fear for you, and that's done. Now, compare before and now, what does it seem like to you?
When you think about your future and really what it is that you were thinking about you'd like, maybe to help people or whatnot, does that feel better to you, like you can accomplish that?
I feel different, so I'm still not sure I could do that. I just feel like it would just be a struggle.
Okay, so you feel different, but you still feel that it'd be a struggle. So let's process that a little bit further.
Well, the struggle, again, it doesn't come in as a struggle, but since you brought up struggle, then you bring up your ancestors' curses specifically causing other people to struggle. So we have to delete the ancestors' curse that the ancestors gave to you for you to find what it is to resolve it for them. So now think about your struggle now. It's the same or different?
It's different.
Okay, good, because your ancestors' struggle has been, deleted from you. So it's less of a struggle in your life now, right?
That's a big one. I mean, did you follow that? Because a lot of people that, we work with and talk to and start the deletion process, I mean, ancestors is 90% of the time, a huge weakness. And when you start to delete the memories and that we get, that we're storing in our cells, our molecules, our atoms, in our structure, we're storing those memories in our, from our ancestors. And it's just so important to delete those. So we did that for everybody listening, ancestral memories. So that
but actually,
we're struggling.
You think 90% is high, but you actually miss, it could be infinite. So I would say the highest percentage for the listeners influenced by the ancestors is like 600%.
Wow, that's really high.
Affecting the descendants. So we want to...
The ancestors affecting the descendants.
Yeah. The person who has 600%.
Wow.
So you change that. So that everyone would be even out, not going to ruin the average.
Yeah,
one.
so if your ancestors had struggling energy, that gets passed on to us.
Well,
and we
not their own struggling energy, they cause other people to struggle. See, now that's actually worse.
It could be either way for her in particular.
But it's worse though if you cause other people to struggle than your own struggle.
Right. Well, that's a karma too.
Well, that's what I said. It's a karma of curses.
You got to look at the karma because
strong.
The law of cause and effect will affect you. So now it has no effect on you. We deleted it for you.
And let me say that too. It's not like we believe in it. We don't believe it at all. When it comes up, then we have to deal with it. That's a weakness, and we have to change it. And then we achieve results from doing that. And we still don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, whether you believe in past lives or ancestors or anything at all that we're talking about.
It's the results that we want.
It's results that count.
It's not about belief.
Right.
Belief actually is very restrictive. And belief belong in a religion, right? So we're not advocating any religious concept or principle to you, or not principle, but we're into principles. Principle leads to results. Concept is like they're still talking about the problem, possibly how to resolve it. So we want to resolve it for you, so you could resolve it yourself. All right, we're not here to just show you that we could do it and you just have to depend on us. No, it's not that kind of thing. You may have to be directed from us till you get it all together. It's like taking another lesson. If you're playing tennis, it's like taking another lesson or golf or whatever.
Yeah. So, the Yuen method is like the game of life. If you want to think about it, if you want to learn how to play tennis, you get in the court and you play. You don't just read a book on it. You want to learn how to drive a car,
you want to experience it.
You want to experience it. You got to get in the car and drive. And with the Yuen method, you can read the book. It'll tell you all the principles. But I get this all the time. People like, Marnie, I read the book. And I'm always like, you got to come to the course because it's about actionable principles. Principles will only get you so far. But in Dr. Yuen's courses, and wow, if you get anything out of this alone, it's about downloading, activating, and updating your internal computer. And in the course, and Dr. Yuen in the course will actually direct all the registered attendees specific energy to download, activate, and update your own internal computer. I mean, let's face it, when you have a computer, literally, whether it's a smartphone or a computer, there's always updates. And it's important to get those updates. So some people have taken one module, some people have taken 2 modules. Dr. Yuen has a whole upcoming live telecourses coming up very soon that starts in September. And I tell people it's about experiencing it. And like I said, the book only goes so far. This free stream is amazing. We invite you to all of them. The reason I put these free streams together is because it's the place to be to delete pain and stress. But it's a lot more than just this demonstration. The courses go full on into detail with all the octagons and hexagons and all the geometric figures. There's all new charts. Dr. Yuen, talk about the geometric figures and how the octagons, why it's so exponentially faster using geometric figures.
Because within each person's body, they have those geometric figures that if they have a weakness there, it will just make the whole structure, human body structure, going to be weaker because of that. So
the geometric figures just really speed things up, and Dr. Yuen activates the figures for you. So after treating hundreds of thousands of patients across the globe, he's come up with a simplified chart that, just by using this chart, it will ensure results. And so that's part of the teachings. But again, it's not like taking a regular course where you get, a thick book and it's a lot of lecturing. It's not that way at all. It's really through osmosis. And what Dr. Yuen is doing is downloading you the information. So I always tell people it's an experience. And in the live course, let me explain how it works. On Tuesdays, you listen to the lesson and Dr. Yuen is activating you. And on Thursday, you get to submit a question. And Dr. Yuen, as he's answering everybody else's questions, a lot of times you'll have the same question too. So it's an interactive experience. And, we invite you to the courses that are coming up if you really want to be good at this. I mean, let me show you another pentagon. When feeling, perception, and intuition is strong, it really gives you insight. And when you have the insight, this course gives you the skill of insight. And let me explain a little bit more. When you have insight, which is the key fundamental principles of the Yuen method, you know what's right and what's wrong. It's either strong or it's weak. And when you have insight, the insight isn't coming from your mind. Dr. Yuen is downloading you this information and he's activating your brain, deleting the mind completely out of your body. It's not like you're reprogramming your mind or it's motivation and inspiration. It's none of that. Those days are history. This is about brain activation. This is about turning your brain receiver on. It's about insight. It's about having the right or wrong answer. And let me give you an example. So many of our clients, they call us and if you have an important decision in life, this isn't even about pain deletion. I had a client call me. She had a this just happened last week. And she called me last week to tell me like 6 months ago, we did a session. And she's like, Marnie, I was thinking about buying this house. And she was going to invest in this house. And it's a whole long story. But the bottom line is I tuned in. And I just felt weakness. I said, it's the wrong time. It just in a split second. And she says, but Marnie, it's so logically right that this is the right land. It's the right house. And she gave me all the reasons why it was so right. And I said, you know what? It's the wrong time. You're totally weak. And she called me last week and she says, she fell in love. She got married and she ended up moving to Paris. And if she would have bought that house, she's like, I'm so happy I didn't buy it. And so it's just sometimes the trivial things in life that you can use the method for. I have another client who called me and she went to a job interview and there was 2 different jobs that she could have took, and one of them looks so good on paper. And she's like, Marnie, which one feels stronger to you? And I told her which one, and she says, oh no, that's impossible. She says, I'm going to take the other one because it pays more money, it's better benefits. And she started going through all the logical things of why this job was better. And I said, no, it feels weak, just don't do it. Anyways, she called me and said, Marnie, I should have listened to you because I took the job and my boss is just such a beep. I won't say the word, but she turned out to work for this man who was just horrible. But in the interview, he was so nice and so sweet. So a lot of things, and I tell you this because a lot of things that sound logical to you and they look great on paper, you can research it and it sounds great. It may be the perfect roadmap for you. It may be the perfect decision. But when you tune in and use your insight, let me tell you something, your insight is going to give you the right answer. And it may totally not be logical. And that's what the course really activates in you. It's a priceless skill. And it's something that, can be programmed in. We're all born with insight and we're all born with the intuition, but Dr. Yuen will refine it for you so that it's crisp, it's fast, your perception is really fast. Dr. Yuen, share with the audience how your course is, what's new and how it's not really about learning.
Well, it's no longer about learning. You just activated. When you think that you couldn't learn it or impossible for you to learn it, the next second or so, it will change that you'll be naturally download and you will have all the knowing or knowledge that you're entitled to have, which is like all the knowledge in the universe.
Yeah, that's actually my fear also. Would I be able to learn that? Because it seems like the perfect way to help people also. But I'm just questioning whether I would be able to learn it.
Okay, so she's questioning whether she'd be able to learn it. And that's a great question. And a lot of us may have that question.
Okay, so let's look at that. So that question didn't really come from her. That again, is another question from the ancestors. The ancestors make sure other people didn't learn it. So the ancestors kept things as a secret to themselves and to their close family members. So let's remove those karmas. At least they're not, violent karmas. So actually, violent karmas, you can resolve those too. So your family members were not going to attract things that may seem to be like random act of violence. There's no such thing. It's just karma payback and cause and effect. You could actually trace it down and resolve it before it happens. Okay, so now when you think about learning now, what does that seem like? Does it still seem the same to you as you said before?
It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. I just feel
okay, so it shouldn't say a little bit. That means when you say a little bit, then you put a certain amount to it, then that means you have criticism that have to be resolved and judgment have to be resolved. And that's those two are pretty leading effect on you negatively in your life. So criticism and judgment. So we just delete them all. And some of them also come from the ancestors as well. So you have a lot of specific ancestors, karmas and curses come down in affecting you. So now what's that seem like now?
Yeah, getting in my way.
When you feel better about it?
She's stronger now. She's more better.
It's better. I'm still not 100% confident, but it's better. But it's definitely something I would like to be able to do.
Okay, so we'll strengthen you so that you feel confident. Dr. Yuen and that's criticism and blame and judgment is a big one for everyone. So we're deleting criticism, judgment, blame from your internal computer so that you all feel more confident, because we all have that. You want to love yourself and be confident, but have that energy support it, because it's not about loving yourself. It's about having the energy to support that. And it's about being strong, that you should, be able to do anything that you want to do in life, whether it's learning the Yuen method or learning how to do anything. You just strengthen yourself to it.
You definitely don't
want strong.
To depend on love. A lot of people advocate you depend on love to resolve your problem. Love does not resolve any of your problems except to master the problem. Till later in the future, it becomes worse.
So you want to be strong so that you have the unconditional love.
Well, you have to delete all the problems you have, then you can love better. Right? So it's not like you use love to cover
to mask it.
Your problem.
It's pure unconditional love, where you don't have anything masking your love.
Your life problems and questions that have not been answered, either coming from you or your family members up to the ancestors or descendants, and then you can actually love better without going crazy with love and have the only emotion attached to love. Love should be your whole total being, and it's not the emotions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you so much for coming on live. We're going to continue. We're going to take another live caller.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, and continue to come to our free streams and continue to improve with us.
306.
306. 306, you're on live.
Hello?
Yes, you're coming in loud and clear. Are you experiencing any pain and stress today?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't you tell us?
Hello?
Yes. You could just tell us what you'd like to improve in your life.
The aches and the pains and the get myself back on track for working and everything else.
Aches and pains and get yourself back on track. Okay, so what is
working,
it?
She said.
What do you, in terms of working, what do you do for a living?
I was in retail.
You're in retail?
In retail?
In retail, okay.
I was. I broke my leg a year and a half ago, and so I still have problems
Okay.
with that. So
Okay, so you is your leg in pain right now?
yes, it has changed because I'm not walking very good.
Okay, so
When I do walk, it kind of bothers my hip or my leg, and a lot of the stuff I figure is the outside stuff.
okay, so well, let's get you walking better so that your pain in your leg goes away.
And I can't even bend my foot up to put my socks on.
You can't
my right
bend your
foot.
foot up.
I broke my left foot, but it's my right foot.
You broke your left foot, so your pain is in your left foot?
It's in my right foot, but I broke my left foot for 8 months.
Wow. Okay, so
I wasn't able to.
Okay, so let's start processing this for you so that you can walk better and your foot feels better. Dr. Yuen?
Well, you want to compare about her job and her body pain. If you her job, it is weaker of the two. So even though she's not working, you want her to be strong to any job that she had before. Okay, so, and also the jobs that she have like for thousands of years or didn't have a job. Because as a woman, well, I guess you have take care of the home, that kind of job. But so you want to remove that working, weakening effect, and just the thought of Labor Day actually make her even weaker, right? So we change that, and then we just have to get her body uniformly even with each other first. So there's unevenness in her body because jobs are uneven. There's no even jobs, in the world. I mean, the jobs are never even, right? So now how's your body? How's your body sensation now of pain and things like that? What's it seem right now?
It feels lighter, but I still cannot put my right foot up onto my knee if I had to put on a sock.
Okay, so she's trying to get her right foot up onto her knee so she can put her sock on.
Okay,
so let's process that.
That's almost like doing a lotus in yoga.
That's like doing lotus when yoga. So we're gonna make you more flexible.
You ever practice that?
Have you ever practiced yoga?
Well, I have, but like I said,
so that's kind of negative too.
Okay, so we're gonna make you more flexible right now on the spot. So we're gonna loosen up your joints and your ligaments.
Well, we gotta make
tendons.
her strong to Indians and Indian culture, Indian food. It sounds funny. But...
No, thank you. And then the other issue that I have is I have gained the weight from not doing anything for like 8 months. I couldn't walk.
Okay, well let's make sure you're more flexible first.
Well, let's go back to what you said about putting socks on her foot. Now, what's that seem like?
What does it seem like now when you place your right foot up on your knee so that you can put your sock on? Do you experience a change?
Well, I got it up onto my knee, yes.
Woohoo! You
But
got
it
it up
seems to
onto
be
your
pulling
knee.
So it's improvement, right? So
That's
It
good.
seems to be pulling in the back. It seems to be pulling in the back or my thighs. Or my hip, somewhere
Okay.
up in that area.
Okay, so you got your foot onto your knee, but now we're gonna loosen it up even
Right
more
now,
so
yes.
that you don't feel any pulling. So that was the first step. Now,
well, we just have to strengthen her opposite brain, right? So her brain's been kind of suppressed by the mind because the mind kind of not too happy and causing her brain kind of have this orientation because the mind is not too happy. But you want to be happy with your
Yeah.
brain anyway, not your mind, because your mind will just confuse
Yeah.
people. And of course now, the new thing is the science of happiness, right? So, but everybody pretty much kind of start on the wrong foot and talk about mindfulness for happiness or being positive. So they really missed the spaceship, right? So not the boat, but the ship. So anyway, now how's the rest of your hip and leg seem like to you now?
It seems to be much lighter, and it seems to be a little better than when I was waiting, to talk to you guys. It seems to be better, and
so we want to make
I
sure you
just
can
hope,
put your sock on though, because that's really was what you said at the beginning. Like you couldn't even put your foot on your knee. Now you can put your foot on your knee. But are you able to put your sock on without any pain?
You want to deal with her weakness to finances. So that's a pain in the body too, right? So you have some financial thoughts that kind of affect you negatively, but you don't have to say what it is.
yes.
Okay, so we established that's the baseline. So it's really a main reasons there, and it come not just from you, but family members and ancestors and everybody else. In the family. So let's straighten that out first. And now, when you think about finances again, how's the effect of what you thought about before now? Is the same or different effect on you?
It seems to be much better. I seem to be much more neutral.
Okay, so
I don't seem to tend to worry about it that much.
Yeah, how's your flexibility now? When you worry about it, it makes it worse, right?
It's true.
That's right, yes.
And of course, people, the only thing they could do is suppress their worry, which is ridiculous, right? So, or think positive, which is another ridiculous suggestion, right? So, those things doesn't work at all, actually. So, temporarily, it just masks the problem. So, how's your flexibility now?
Feels pretty good. Feels
Okay.
a lot better. Just hope it continues.
I mean, we there's no hope there. Come on, we could get you back to be super normal, right? Super normal of yourself, right? So that
Yes, I want to get back to myself.
yeah, you could be super normal of
What
yourself.
happened a year and a half ago?
Well, the year and a half ago, it actually went back further than that. So let's make sure that you go back to like resolving your negative spiritual experiences, or people could say past life experiences. So you could be going back like 200 years. So we just have to resolve all those negative experiences you have with your body for 200 years. Okay? Now, think about your situation now. How's the situation affecting you now when you think about going back and making improvement?
I feel more positive.
All right, let's not make it positive. Let's make sure you're
Neutral.
totally neutral. Right? You don't care either way, right?
What is neutrality? It's when you're above it all. Nothing bothers,
positive,
affects
not
you.
positive, negative, not negative, right?
And nothing bothers or disturbs you. There's no effect on you.
It's like you're like God, right? God doesn't care either way, right? So not positive,
How
not
does
negative.
neutrality relate to enlightenment and awakening, Troy asks.
Erica, enlightenment?
Well, Troy is asking, how does neutrality relate to enlightenment and awakening?
Well, your body become lighter, so that's enlightenment. Yeah, of course, it's different than spiritual people on enlightenment, right? So That's all I could say.
Okay, so when you place your foot on your knee, before we let you go, we want you to place your right foot on your knee and put your sock on. And
It's on there right now.
yay!
It's on right now.
That's good. That's good.
Keep on
Is
improving.
there anything you can do with the weight?
Okay, so
I think that's
you have a question about it. So your question has to be answered by you. I don't mean you're going to sit there and talk to yourself, but let's see what has to be done for you so you don't have that question, okay? So, and I don't have to verbalize it for you because you actually know what you have to do. You've just been distorted by your mind and making you not know what to do and also, choose the wrong thing to do like everybody else, right? So, people in general could not lose weight because they're always using the wrong answer to try to lose weight. And that's why it become epidemic, right? So now, I processed a bunch of stuff for you that I did that. Now, how's your question about your body weight?
I feel better.
Okay. It's like your leading question already been answered by yourself internally. So things will happen. You want to lose weight, you have to lose weight from inside out, right? Your inside have to be strong.
Right.
Your inside have to be fit, right? You want internal fitness, not just your external fitness. And internally, you don't have any fitness, right? So, of course, you want the internal fitness connected to the outside your body, and then you have the external fitness, and then external fitness come back and connect with your internal fitness, then you got it all.
Did you follow that?
Well, you listen to
you know what? We want you to follow us even more. And guess what? It's coming to the end of our stream, and I would like to let you know that we are offering you you just won a free telecourse coming up in September. How does that make you feel?
So very good, thank you.
So what we'd like you to do is we give away a free telecourse on every stream, and you just won. Please contact us at the email, contactus@yuenmethod.com. So if you could do that right after this call, send an email, and you'll see it up on the screen here. Our team will put it up. Contact us at yuenmethod.com and just tell our team that you won the free telecourse, and they'll get you all set up, because we want you to continue, most importantly. And in September is the New Rules to Money, Finance, Career, which completely deletes all your financial pain and stress. Dr. Yuen will download, activate, update your internal computer as he teaches the course.
No teaching.
And there's no teaching. I always use the word teaching, but there's no teaching. It's just downloading the information. It's a wonderful live interactive experience. Your feelings will be refined. Your perception will be enhanced, and you'll experience prosperity, weightlessness, vitality, rejuvenation, unconditional love like you've never experienced before. And I actually, if you look up on the screen, you're going to take charge. It's the Take Charge Triad, and it consists of Money, Finance, Career, which is the course that starts in September, followed by the next course, which is Weight Reduction and Rejuvenation, which you said that you wanted. And then, of course, Unconditional Love and Sexual Neutrality is a course that's followed that. And the reason the three of these components come together is because it's all about taking charge. And as you see with all the deletions that we did, I want to point out something that's really important, is that when you have money problems or whatever it is that you think, a lot of times that can be something with rejuvenation, like you have physical pain in your body that's causing you to age faster. And sometimes when you have physical pain in your body, it's coming from not being neutral, and whether it's issues with your relationships or your sexuality. And so when you put these three components together, this triad will be strong, and you'll really take charge of your life. And there's a reason behind why Dr. Yuen put these three courses together the way he did, was because, nothing's separate in life. Every area, you have the life hexagon, which you'll learn in the course too, but it's literally every area of your life must integrate, and it must synergize. And so when you take these three courses together, that's what it does. So, do you have anything to add about how you activate your physical intelligence and you turn on everyone's brain receiver in the course, and you really, explain?
It's really easy to do
experience
that.
Of neutrality.
And you can share that with once you have experience doing it, you share that with your family members without consciously connecting with them or talking to them. You improve them, you improve other people, and you could do it professionally. You can improve someone's business. You could go to that business and take over the business because you bring profit into the business. Eventually, they have to give you the business, right? Make you the president, right? So it's really
the key fundamentals of the Yuen method, like I said, is all about insight. And Dr. Yuen will program you so that you have the skill of insight. And like I said, it's like playing a sport. You got to get in the game and you got to play. You got to get on the calls and be active with Dr. Yuen, because being active with Dr. Yuen, through osmosis, it'll just be happening. And, a lot of people are like, wow, things are really starting to change in my life. Now, I know a lot of you here on the stream have personal problems or personal, different issues going on, whether it's pain, relationships, different areas in your life. Maybe it's weight, love, relationships, you name it. And whatever it may be, Dr. Yuen has clinics also. And a lot of people have the question that comes into us all the time is, what's the difference between a course and a clinic? So the courses will give you all the actionable principles so that you can really activate the Yuen method on yourself, on others, whether you do it personally or professionally. And the clinic is a 5-week clinic. And in the clinics that are coming up, you can go ahead and click the links on this page. You'll see 3 different links. One is our calendar, which gives you all of our upcoming events. Another one is our telecourses, which gives you the whole 3 package discount and tells you the dates, the times, what the course is about, the material. And the other one is if you want to improve with Dr. Yuen over 5 weeks, which is the clinic. But the clinic is a very small group. It's a very small group, and the benefits of the clinic is that it's personal. You can submit a personal request every week for 5 weeks. Dr. Yuen will evaluate you, reevaluate you, and it's over a 5-week period rather than, he does do one-on-one consultations. You can find that on the yuenmethod as well.com/consultations. But, that's a 25-minute consultation, which is great. But if you do have something chronic and you want to improve, a lot of times I tell people, do a consultation and follow it by a 5-week clinic so that over 5 weeks, Dr. Yuen can keep checking you. So, Dr. Yuen, do you have anything to add about your personal clinics?
Personal clinic, you don't mean personal consultation, right?
Both. I mean, you do personal consultations and then they follow it with a clinic.
Yeah, people either do the clinic first and follow with a specific, one-on-one consultation. That's like, it's like taking a class on tennis and then you get a personal appointment. I mean, a private class, not a class, but a private lesson in tennis. So actually, something that's private one-on-one is really for people who think that this method is totally bogus. So they could come and I would show that they're not bogus. Let me take that back. I don't show them. They would come to realization life is not bogus. We've been living in a life of bogus from so many experts, they think, or educators, or the people in charge, like even the gatekeepers, that they don't want to make any changes for humans, and they want humans to be going backwards and not achieving any improvement results for themselves. So, which is not a good thing for the whole human race.
So, like I said, you can do a one-on-one consultation with Dr. Yuen. You can join a clinic for 5 weeks. And we do have courses where you can actually download all this information and experience it.
Well, they do all 3, then
you do all 3 of them, so, then you really have it.
Yeah, then you really have together, and there's no reason why you cannot do this professionally and improve others. And you could do it professionally, like be a business consultant, not just on people's illnesses.
Right. We do the certification is open right now, and it will be starting in October. So if you're interested in the Yuen Method certification, we do have a complete package for that. You can go to our yuenmethod.com and click on certification, and it will give you all the information about it, because you can do this professionally, and you'll be connected with Dr. Yuen for forever. And the benefits of that are, Dr. Yuen's keeping you strong on a regular basis and whatnot. Do you have anything to say about your certification?
Well, the certification is a constant connection to update, because the world is constantly changing. We can't say that, okay, we're going to use the same concept. Usually from the past, there was no principle that leads to any immediate results. Mm-hmm. And any result that happened is going to happen by accident. Mm-hmm. So we don't want any accident in people's lives to hope that they have an accident, they're going to resolve their illness, mm-hmm. Which is ridiculous. Should be a consistency, just like all the high-tech equipment that we're so used to right now, that there's consistency there. There should be immediate results. It's not like hit and miss, and you hope mm-hmm. that you will have some results. You could have results to everything. So that's the reason why you want to share this with everyone. Mm-hmm. And if they think it's bogus or they don't believe it, that's fine. They should just come into this program and just break us down, or show that we're a bunch of bogus and cheating people and give them the wrong just give them false hope, so to speak, right? There's no such thing as false hope. That came from all the conventional thinking, mm-hmm, actually. Mm-hmm.
That's why we give the free streams, is because the mind will sabotage you. The mind's going to tell you it's impossible.
Well, other people's mind.
Or other people. It's too good to be true. But I can tell you that I was there with you. If you're skeptical and don't think that this was working, but I was there. I remember when I tell my story in the book, and I remember being in the hospital, and they literally diagnosed me with a life-threatening illness, and they told me I had 3 years to live, and my artery and vein was twisted. That there was no hope for me, that no solution for me, medical Western medicine. And I really thought at that point, I was so indoctrinated, as much healing and as much, I taught the Yuen method for years, and here I am with a life-threatening illness. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, energy work, that's just so far beyond. There's no way it's going to fix an artery and a vein. But sure enough, you get to the point where you do doubt, even me. And I'm like,
but this is not teaching the method. Work.
Well, so you know what I mean. Most people are open. I was totally disconnected
for a while. For years, you were disconnected. So.
And then when I came back, Dr. Yuen just reset my mind, body, spirit, and just reversed my artery and vein. And it was literally in one session. My X-rays were different. And so I'm telling you this, and I'm sharing you with this.
Actually, if people don't have that book, they should buy your book.
Yeah, read my book. You can go to Amazon.
Buy your book or read your book, whatever.
You could go to Amazon.com, and there's a inside look inside feature, and you can read my story. But literally, I was at the point in my life where I had a life-threatening illness, and the Yuen method saved my life, and it can save yours too. And that's why I share my story with you, because there's sometimes you can just be so indoctrinated by what the doctors tell you, and that there's no hope and there's no solutions. And let me tell you something, you got to stand up and say you believe that, and not believe or disbelieve. Yeah. But I believed in miracles at the time. And Dr. Yuen will say, well, miracles should happen every second. It's the science of immediate results. And I'm right there with you.
No such thing as miracles.
That's
why an accident.
Right. That's why I put these free streams every month, because we want to show you the possibilities and put it in action. And it's the science of immediate results. So say to yourself, I love myself. I trust myself. I'm confident. I'm great. And let me tell you something. We're going to put that energy behind you so that you're neutral with the unconditional love, strong finances, strong rejuvenation, so that you move forward with strength in your life and don't let anything get you down, right? Be above it all, totally neutral, where nothing has an effect on you. And that's what the courses are all about, where you're strongly neutral, you're above it all, and nothing has an effect on you. And you have the insight to know what's right and what's wrong. But I'll tell you, we all get setbacks in our life. I was there with you, and that's why I came back. That's why I put these free streams. And I tell you, stay with the Yuen method. Come to our, regardless if you do any events with us, come to these free streams monthly, because they will keep you strong on a regular basis. So we thank you so much for coming here tonight. And, we thank you for chatting with us, and congratulations to the winner. We do have some questions that are frequent that come in. If we missed any of your questions, just send us an email to contact us at yuenmethod.com, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of your logistical questions. But like I said, remember, on here, if you click these links on here, it'll give you all the information about the clinic, the dates, the times, when it is, what it's about. It'll give you all the information on the courses. The early bird special is closing though, so you got to take action fast, because these courses are starting soon and everybody's looking forward to it. We're excited. We'd love to have you there. Do we have any other questions in the chat? Our team is here. Any other questions at all that came up?
Somebody wants to know about the club.
Okay, Dr. Yuen also has a club, so it's the Delete Stress and Pain Club, and that's another, you can go to our website, and if you just click on club, it'll give you all the information, but then again, you know, every month, once a month, Dr. Yuen leads a club, so if that interests you, check it out. You can submit an issue, one a month, and Dr. Yuen will keep you strong personally in your life. Okay, if I missed anything at all, just like I said, give us an email, contact us at yuenmethod.com. And thank you so much for joining, everyone. We unconditionally love you all.
Great. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.